Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Episode 12. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm going to be a little honest. I'm a little unprepared. I was getting my show written out like I do. Then I got into a little bit of political debate. We'll just call it that. But I'm here now. We're ready to go. Episode 12. Today's Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. Hope you enjoyed the last 3 days since we've been on. Well, let's start it. Let's get the political stuff out of my head, and let's go jump right into the 12th episode of Brat Said That. And as you know, I am your host, Brat Jackson, with my co-producer, Chad LGBT, and my co-host, Penny the Pug. And as we start every single show, well, first we got to make sure we're live, because we're not going to have that again. But, oh, there I am. I see my handsome face. Let me just make sure volume is down. Let's watch the live video. Okay, here we go. All right, perfect. Like we start every show with the Championship Cup, the Coke Zero. Oh, got a little excited today. They're a little excited for episode 12. Before we start, listen, I want to take a little, like a little sidetrack, a little backseat to sports talk. If you're gonna have a political debate, don't make it personal. I know this world is kind of effed up right now. Left, right, MAGA this, MAGA that. We all need to love each other. That's really what we need. Love each other. You can disagree. I disagree with a lot of people. Friends, family, acquaintances. But don't call names. Don't take personal shots. Because at the end of the day, the people up top, they don't care about us. We need to care about us. But you know what I do care about? Having a great show. No more politics talk. Take a shot. Love your friends. Love yourself. And always be positive. So, like we do every single time, we need to start in the squared circle. Not much happened this week. I'll be honest. Besides Monday, we talked about it on Tuesday. NXT happened. I love Joe Hendry. He is one of my favorite people in NXT. Call his name and he'll be there. I also love Ethan Page and Chelsea Green, that they just won the AAA Mixed Tag Team Championships. So shout out to them. Ethan Page is still the North American champion. He's doing great stuff with that. Chelsea Green, she's finally getting what she deserves. Finally. Okay? Let me just talk about Chelsea Green. Don't ever quit your dreams, folks. She has been through the ringer, through injuries, release, comes back, goes, makes a name for herself. She is the blueprint of what you should always strive and follow your dreams. But back to Ethan Page and them. They're the new AAA Mixed Tag Team Champions. And now they're going to face Joe Hendry and Theo Hill, who last time I watched her, she was bad. She wasn't a good person. But now she's with Joe Hendry. Say her name and she appears. That's cool. I didn't get to see NXT because I was working, but I think they're going to do Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints once again for the NXT Championship. Those two have great chemistry. So I would recommend definitely whatever their next show is. I know they usually always do old rehashed show names, but I think it's Deadline, or they already have that one. I'm not too sure. Yeah, Deadline December 6th. So we'll talk more about that when it comes around. But I do want to talk about John Cena's Last Time Is Now tournament begins on Monday. We already said that it's going to be Sheamus, Rusev, Damian Priest, and Shinsuke Nakamura are the first four announced. I really don't know who the rest of the roster or their bracket can be. I don't see people like Edge or Randy Orton or those legends fighting in a tournament. I definitely don't see Edge being John Cena's last opponent. I want him to be. I've said it for 11 episodes so far, but I see him more of having a interaction. If whatever they can do, please. I know I've been begging for the last, 2 months about Edge appearing, just make it happen, okay? We don't need this tribalism. We don't need this division. But that is what's going to happen. Oh, the first cough of the show. I actually looked at new microphones where I can get a cough button, a mute button, so I can just press it so you don't have to hear me coughing. And no, the coughing is just because I talk a lot. And I do try not to mumble. I was in speech therapy as a kid. So the fact that I'm even coming on here and talking for nearly 50 to an hour every 2 days, twice a week, shout out to Woodwood Parkway and their speech therapy. But yeah, Raw, we got Rusev, Damian Priest, Shinsuke, and Sheamus. I don't know if there's a matchup, but I want to see that more. I want to see mid-card, higher mid-carders get a shot to face John Cena. Whoever's gonna win, I'm gonna make sure that I watch it. It's in December 13th. We're a month away. Saturday night's main event. I hope, like I've said before, I hope this whole entire show is dedicated to John Cena. Okay? Whole entire show. I don't want to see no ads for anything else. John Cena, from the moment he was the, ruthless aggression, smacking Kurt Angle, to his first WWE championship, to everything he's done. Excuse me, that's twice. Let's get him out early, folks. I want to see John Cena, 26-year wrestling career. I will tell you a story. I was in some supermarket back in the day. And, I've had all these magazines. PWI have been going on forever and ever. I don't know if it's PWI, but it was one of the wrestling magazines you get at the supermarket. There was a guy on the front page called The Prototype. He would end up being John Cena. And to see somebody that I saw on a magazine cover before he was even big is just insane. It's insane to see what he has become. I've always been a big John Cena fan. Always supported him. There was a time back in 2005, 2006 when we all went to the internet forum boards. And you couldn't say a good thing about John Cena or you weren't going to get flamed. John Cena had no supporters, but I was out there. I was part of the chain gang. I'll be honest. 2005 when he won his first WWE championship. WrestleMania 21, we all know what happened. To see him become a 17-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He's on my Mount Rushmore of WWE superstars of all time. And his rap album's pretty good too. But we will see. That tournament starts Monday. James McGrady, how you doing, buddy? But I do want to talk about something that's making headlines. Ridge Holland, former wrestler from WWE, he got released. Little controversy, he was released while he was injured, and now he's not really being able to afford to make bills. So a lot of wrestlers did a GoFundMe for his family. I know Nick Jackson, no relation, and others have done it. So hopefully, Ridge Holland, real name Luke Menzies, if you're a WWE superstar, there's always life after WWE. But if you're injured, you really can't do much, So, hopefully everything works out for him. Excuse me, that's 3. I don't know how to do links and stuff, but I would, I know I'm just a low level show that's just doing it in my spare bedroom. But, go to the link and hopefully everything works out for him. Because, when you entertain fans like that, you put your body on the line. You don't want to. I've seen a lot of wrestlers after WWE see their unfortunate ends. And right now, Ridge Holland, he's still young. He's still, able to, hopefully recover and make a life after wrestling. Look at Matt Cardona. Got released and has become the biggest independent superstar of really all time. So hopefully he gets things covered. He gets everything. So, GoFundMe is a great thing too, if it's for the right reasons. I've seen a lot of GoFundMes for Bukazi, not Bukazi, Bukaki, fake stuff. Don't do that. But coming up, we do have War Games in a few weeks. War Games is coming up, and I want to just Thank you, McGrady. I can do that too. I don't know because I'm on my phone, so I don't know like how to do that while I'm not on my phone. But Survivor Series is coming up in a few weeks, about the November 29th in San Diego. I would love to go to San Diego. A, it's beautiful, and two, it's not too far away from me. But they're having another War Games. I'll be honest, I'm a little sick of War Games. I prefer the old school 5-on-5, 4-on-4. Hell, why not have both? You can have both. But, obviously there's going to be the vision. And hold on one second, sorry. Oh, I didn't know it. I had a mute button right there I could press when I cough. But it's going to be in San Diego. It's Petco Park. I've never been there. I've been to San Diego. It's beautiful. I do prefer... why am I repeating myself? It's probably going to be the Vision plus this and this. I hear like Brock Lesnar. So if I was booking it for Triple H, obviously it would be like Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, maybe Brock Lesnar, Logan Paul. We've never seen Brock Lesnar inside War Games. How dope would that be? I would like to see Brock Lesnar inside War Games. And it's probably going to be like CM Punk, Jey Uso, LA Knight, yeah, and others. Cody Rhodes, too. I think he's going to defend the WWE Championship at Survivor Series. Tonight is SmackDown, so we're going to find out what his future is. He just got rid of Drew McIntyre, so it's kind of up in the air. So really, what do you do now with Cody Rhodes? He's probably going to come out, cut a promo, talk about he's the WWE Champion, and then somebody's going to interrupt him. I don't even know who's on the SmackDown roster, if there still are roster splits. I miss the days where they used to be roster splits, Raw and SmackDown, Raw wrestlers on Monday, SmackDown wrestlers on Thursday, Friday. Those were the days. And anytime those two used to cross paths was always great. So, Survivor Series, not much about it. We will see what happens. Man, I would love to go to Survivor Series, but tickets are way too... Jacob Fatu would be a great... but I think he's going to go with Drew McIntyre. I don't know. I know last time we saw Jacob Fatu, he was out. He was injured. So if he comes back, him versus McIntyre, we've seen the bloodline and all variations in War Games every year. So I want to see something different. But... Survivor Series. What's your favorite Survivor Series? Do you like... I love, 2004. Like, when Randy Orton, my favorite wrestler, was, the sole survivor for, 3 straight Survivor Series. That was great. Even 2006, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, DX, the Hardy Boys, and CM Punk. What a hell of a tag team. Even back in, 98, when there was, the Deadly Games tournament with The Rock and Mankind. I'd send them a text. If you have WWE wrestlers, I wouldn't be surprised if you had WWE wrestlers on your phone, McGrady. But, Survivor Series is one of the main 4. It's always been, who can remember the debut of The Undertaker in 1990, 96 with The Rock, Kurt Angle in 99. Survivor Series is historically one of the big pay-per-views. If it's the Rumble, WrestleMania, King of the Ring when they had it, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam. Those are the big 5. So once that always comes around, it's a couple days or a week after Thanksgiving. So it used to be on a Tuesday. I remember that. They used to have Survivor Series on a Tuesday. Somebody just threw out some trash. But yeah, I think the only one thing I can really clarify is we might see Dominic versus Rey, Mysterio versus Mysterio, title versus career. Give Dominic the win over Rey. Rey, you have done every single thing you needed to do. You are one of the greatest of all time. You are I don't want to say king of the luchadors because I don't want to disrespect Dirty Dom, but title versus career, end it with your son. There is, you've done everything you needed to do. We will, if Rey Mysterio does retire at Survivor Series, we will have a whole episode for Rey Mysterio. Because Rey Mysterio has a little bit of he's got a little spot in my heart because I will be honest. I'm going to tell you a little Brat history lesson. 2002, I got hit by a truck, broke my femur, my clavicle. I was out. Hospital stay for 12 days. I was on the couch for 2 months. 2 months breaking your clavicle, and I was up and walking. That's what happens when you're 14. But I do remember Rey Mysterio debuting against Chavo Guerrero, and, I remember just being on the couch with my leg up. And, Rey Mysterio, greatest of all time, and San Diego is where they live. So this is the end. This should be the end for Rey Mysterio. But we'll see what happens. We do got to talk about AEW. I have been following it a lot more. I am looking forward. Okay, so I don't know where I want to go right now because there's 2 new championships that Tony Khan introduced. Tony Khan, come here. Stop introducing titles. You have way too many championships. Okay, I'm going to go to AEW right here. All Elite Wrestling. And we're going to talk about all the titles they have. This is, okay. Let's go down. Yada, yada. Okay, so you got the AEW World Championship. Obviously, you need to have a World Championship. Then you have the AEW Continental, International, and Unified Championships. I don't know if that's a single title or is that 3 titles. Okada has them all. Defended Eddie Kingston, Kenny Omega, and I don't know. That's like 2 or 3 titles, 4 titles right there. Then you have the AEW TNT Championship, which is good. That's a secondary title. Hold on. Sorry. Right. And then you have the tag team, you have the world tag team, and then you have the trios. I've never really cared for trios titles. I like them now, I guess, but I've never cared for them. I was like, tag team, you got 2, that's all you need. Then you got the women's division, you got the AEW Women's, Chris Statlander, and then the AEW TBS Championship by Mercedes Moné. And then you got the Women's Tag Team Championship, and then now we have the AEW National Championship. So that is, okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 titles for the men and 2 titles for the women. Or 3 titles for the women. And also, let's not count Ring of Honor, because Ring of Honor is part of AEW now, and they have more titles than they really. I think they have their Pure title, the TV title, the women's. They have a lot of titles. But stop it. Stop it, Tony Khan. You don't need that many titles. I would say, realistically, you got the world title, obviously, heavyweight championship. That's one. That's the top tier. Then a secondary title, maybe like, let's use, excuse me, let's use SWA, the federation that I grew up in. We had the world title, then we had the innovation title, and the Northeast title, and then we had the tag team title. And that's all we needed. That's all we needed. 1 World Heavyweight Championship, 2 mid-card championships, and then a tag team championship. That's all you need. You don't need 6 or 7 or 8 titles like in WCW, World, US, TV, and tag team. That's all you need. But the national championship, like I've said, if you're going to introduce a championship, it is good to do tournaments of battle royals. They're doing a casino gauntlet at Full Gear on November 22nd. Hey, gauntlet's cool. Rumbles are cool. Battle royals are cool. This title is meant to be defended not just in AEW, but across partner promotions, Ring of Honor, New Japan. Okay, give it a cross-brand flavor. I get it, but you're already doing that already. And plus you have all the Ring of Honor stuff. You got the New Japan stuff. Just flooding with titles. But we are focusing on the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship. Hey, I'm surprised. Shout out to the Babes of Wrath, Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron. They defeated Athena and Mercedes Moné. Wow. I thought this was for sure for sure going to be another title for Mercedes Moné, but she got eliminated in the quarterfinals. So we will see. Shout out to them. They're kind of doing exactly what I want them to do. You know, give it to an established tag team. I've always liked tag teams with names. I've never liked dude and dude. Like, I've always liked, like, the Hardy Boys or the Dudley Boys, or, like, you know, I've never liked, I've obviously Edge and Christian, but that's more of like a name than anything. I've never cared for, like, wrestler 1 or wrestler number 2. I like names. Come up with a name. Like Brodito. Like, they have a name. If they were just Brody King and Bandito, I wouldn't really like it. But I do want to give a shout out to Mike Mondo. Speaking about national championships, he just won the NWA National Heavyweight Championship. I like Mike Mondo. He is, I know I repeat myself, but he is, I want to make sure before I say this, and I know I'm 100% sure, he is a Long Island guy. NYWC Heavyweight Champion. I don't know if I saw him wrestle in NYWC back in the day. I think I did. But, you know, he was in NYWC, then he was OVW, then he was one part of the Spirit Squad as Mikey. And now he's doing his thing independent. And, you know, I've always been a big, huge fan of NWA. It's like the oldest wrestling promotion. Billy Corgan, you know, hey, shout out to him. But check out NWA. They have like NWA. I mean, they had I think Ricky Saint. Ricky Saints was on it. LA Knight was on it. So NWA is a good product. I watched a lot during the pandemic, and I don't know. We can talk about NWA a little bit. Let's give them a little bit of spotlight. You know, we talk about WWE and AEW. Let's talk about NWA. Not the rap group. That is a good movie though. Go see Straight Outta Compton. That was like 10 years ago. But I'm sorry. NWA has such a vast history. You know, Dusty Rhodes, baby. Ric Flair. Right now, oh wow, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion is Silas Mason. Wow, he actually won the championship. I have a little history with Silas Mason. When I was training in Vegas, he was there. You know, never really had a bond, but cool to see somebody that I've been in the ring with is the NWA Heavyweight Champion. That is really cool. I'm on Wikipedia, by the way, so I hope this is right. Yeah, that was cool. Good shout out to Silas Mason. Huntington, New York, too. Wow, he won it on Long Island. Wow, I didn't know that. That's cool. NWA 77 anniversary show at the Paramount. Wow, that's cool. Sorry, like I get excited. You know, I love wrestling, so we're just gonna love wrestling together. So, shout out to Silas Mason. I know he was like, who was he in? He was in that movie, the movie with the Von Erichs, the Iron Claw. I think he played Bruiser Brody. Like we said, national heavyweight champion Mike Mondo. Mid-America heavyweight champion, I'm not too sure who this fella is, Jeremy Plunkett. But yeah, you know, AEW, Brian Idol, I think, is the Earl Cooter, who ran, FTW Wrestling on Long Island. So yeah, it's always cool when you, like, get to see these people who, like, you know, are on a national level like that. Like, I know these kids, the Slime Balls, have been in NYWC. They're taking over NWA. So shout out to them, man. You know, there's so much wrestling now. You know, there's AEW, WWE, of course, it's a full front. TNA's taking over, doing great things. New Japan, there's NWA, there's Independence. So, you know, you never can get enough wrestling. You never can get enough wrestling. So, but on our conversation, that's enough wrestling for now. I think we talked about it for like 25 minutes. So, yeah, shout out to everything I've talked about. You know, wrestling is the main focus of the show. This, you can't see it, but this one section of my room is dedicated to wrestling. I have wrestling autographs. I've been a wrestling fan since I was a baby. And that is true. I do have video of me in that jumper while there's wrestling going on. But also, another thing I love besides wrestling, mixed martial arts. This weekend, we have an Apex card. I know I said I don't ever want to see another Apex card. But just like last week, this Apex card is perfect for the Apex. Let me get ChatGPT ready to talk about the Apex card. We got, what is it? I got it right here. Gabriel Bonfim, 18-1, with a win. He's taking on Randy Brown this weekend. Gabriel Bonfim, 18-1. Big win over Wonder Boy. It's a good fight for the Apex card. He is on a 3-fight win streak, and he won against Wonder Boy in a split decision. But any win over Wonder Boy, that's a great name to have. Steven Thompson. Randy Brown. I was surprised by this. He last won against Nicholas Darby in April, and then he lost to Brian Battle. And if you know Brian Battle, I wish I was doing a show while he was in the UFC because he got released because missed weight. Randy Brown lost the split decision to him, but he also has a loss to the welterweight champion, Jack Della Maddalena. So we'll see. He's got the competition, excuse me. I see this fight going the distance. I don't know too much about him, but I do love the hold on one second, sorry. I do love, those Saturday afternoon fight cards. You just put it on the TV, then you go out, do the dishes, mow the lawn, curb your enthusiasm, whatever it is that you do on Saturdays. It's just a basic Saturday Apex card. We will talk more about UFC 322 next week. I'm trying to get it off. I've had off Saturdays lately, so hopefully the schedule maker at work can give me off for 322 so we can talk about it. But, it's an Apex card. It's going to be fights. Last weekend was a good fight card. Wasn't, some of these lower named, no names, to use a horrible term, they can put on bangers. They can really put on some fights that you can remember. So, and this is the perfect card for people that are trying to get their, on a main card, on a big show. Shout out to everybody on the card. I don't know anybody really else that we can talk about that you might know. Matt Schnell, he's on the card. I think he fought for the title. I don't know. There's really nobody else on the card that we can really like, hey, this guy, I know that guy. But, yeah, Randy Brown, he's been around for a while. Always in a fight. Let's see. He's been in UFC since, 2016. Almost coming up 10 years. 7-0 when he started. He went on a 1, 2, 3, 4 fight win streak before he lost. He's got some losses, but they're like, he's lost to Bilal Muhammad, former champion. Nico Price, always a tough fight. Vicente Luque, always a tough fight. Jack Della Maddalena, current welterweight champion. Brian Battle, split decision, and Battle missed weight. Good for Randy Brown. And then you got 18-1. You only lose once. You only lost once in the UFC, and you've been in the UFC. Oh, he's off the Dana White's Contender Series. So, hey, it's going to be a good fight. Enjoy it, that's UFC. I know we talked about the Jake Paul and Devontae Davis, whatever fight you want to call it that. That's canceled. Let me get the energy back up. I don't like talking about this. Nate Diaz, my favorite fighter ever of all time, says that he wants a rematch. Whatever, Nate. You do your thing. Make that money. I'm going to say it right now. Let me take a chug and drink. this is the last time I'm going to talk about Jake Paul and his boxing life. I'm done. Okay? So whatever they want to do, whatever clown show they want to put on, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. And speaking about clown shows and being done, we need to talk about a clown show last night. The Las Vegas Raiders took on the Denver Broncos in the worst prime television football game I've ever seen. I got home right by the fourth quarter. The Raiders lost 10-7. You hear that? They put up 7 points. That game sucked. Geno Smith, 7 sacks. You got sacked 7 times. And you've had 13 interceptions, which leads the league. It is so hard to be a Las Vegas Raider fan. Okay? Let me go on a rant. Put your seatbelt on. I have been a Raiders fan since 2002. That is 24 years ago. Okay? I've never seen them good. I've seen them good for 4 games. For 4 games in my life, I've seen the Raiders do good. I've seen them when they went to, not even good, 3 games, because they lost in the Super Bowl horribly. 48-21. I went to bed. The little, 15, 16? Little Fatty J was like, I can't do this. I'm going to bed. I wish I would have picked another team. But, once a Raider, you got, But shout out to Denver, 8-2. I know a lot of people are saying that they haven't haven't faced competition. We can look at who they have beaten. I know it is pretty pathetic. But, hey, what are you supposed to do? Lose? Like, hey, you're facing these teams. Okay, they beat the Raiders. They barely beat the Texans. They did beat the Cowboys, so good for them. They barely beat the Giants. Let's see. They barely beat the Broncos. They barely beat the Jets. They barely beat the Eagles. They dominated the Bengals. And they lost to the Chargers. So, hey, it is what it is. If you're a Broncos fan, good for you. You're in good position because the AFC West is crap. It is crap. Chargers are doing good, but 2-7 Raiders. The Chiefs are 5-4, and I can still, for somehow, I don't know. They're 5-4. They don't look good. Their record is not good, but I still feel like they're gonna go deep in the playoffs. And I have no, hatred for the Chiefs. I did enjoy seeing them lose in the Super Bowl. I like Patrick Mahomes. I like Travis Kelce. I like Andy Reid. But, damn, give somebody else a try, okay? When Cincinnati beat you to get to the Super Bowl, I was excited. But, damn, Raiders, you suck. I don't like using the S words or F words on this show, but Raiders are bad. Wow. We need to talk about somebody else that's bad. Antonio Brown. My co-producer, ChatGPT, Antonio Brown has been arrested on second-degree attempted murder charge connected to a shooting outside a celebrity boxing event in Miami on May 16th, 2025. Investigators say he grabbed a gun from a security staffer and fired 2 shots at a man with whom he previously been in a fistfight. One bullet allegedly grazed the victim's neck. Brown was apprehended in Dubai by U.S. Marshals, flown to Essex County, New Jersey, and has waived extradition to Florida. The maximum penalty in Florida for second-degree attempted murder with a weapon is up to 15 years in prison. Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown had a good to decent NFL career. We all remember when he took off his jersey in the middle of a game and said, "Hey, I quit. I'm done." But, oh, am I on still? Oh, sorry, it said slow connection. I'm just making sure I'm still on. But yeah, Antonio Brown, you had success in the Steelers. You came to the Raiders, but man, not good, bro. Not good at all. You need to do, I don't know, you need to face justice if that's what happens, man. You got to face justice. And I don't really like to talk about, like I like to keep vibes. I know it's like Brat said that, controversial. Brat said that. I like to keep it fun, comedy, laughs, happiness, gathering together. But yeah, Antonio Brown, you kind of, I don't know what to say. You were all-pro selection, and you got a Super Bowl ring. You got a Super Bowl ring, and that's how you acting a fool after winning the Super Bowl? Yeah, you won it with the Steelers. Oh, my lords. All right, yeah, all right. No, you won it with, the Buccaneers. Whatever. Still, get your shit together, bro. You're looking at 15 years. But I do want to, do want to take a somber note. I know, unfortunately, there was a player on the Cowboys that unfortunately committed suicide. I will get his name in a second. I just had it. Let me, Cowboys defensive end Marshawn Kneeland was found dead of a self-inflicted gunshot following a police chase. Oh, man, that is sad. He was young, too. And I just saw that that Monday against the Cardinals, he was like, had a big sack or something. He was celebrating. So, I like to shit on the Cowboys. And I will forever shit on the Cowboys. But, man, I'm sorry for that. Nobody needs to go out like that when they're that young. So, hopefully, prayers to his family. It's one of these things in sports, You get the highs, you get the lows, you get the happiness, you get the sads. And, unfortunately, right now, we need to talk about the sad. But we can talk about the happiness. We can talk about the good stuff. Hey, shout out to Alex Ovechkin. We talked about it. He got his 900th goal. I'm a Penguins fan, so, Ovechkin was always a rival. First NHL player to score 900 goals. I remember he said he got his first goal in 2005, which is 20 years ago, and now he has 900. So shout out to them. Wasn't very happy that they defeated the Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup, but, hey, shout out to Ovechkin, first round Hall of Famer, if that's how they do Hall of Fames in hockey. I don't know too much about the Hockey Hall of Fame, but he is going in the Hall of Fame one day. First NHL player to score 900 goals. That's crazy. You would think Gretzky would have that many goals. How many Gretzky? Oh, we got something to talk about too. I just typed in G on my Google, and the first thing that popped up, we're going to talk about, because I am not happy about that. But I do want to talk about Wayne Gretzky. How many goals did he have? Because I know there's goals and points. Like, if you get assists, it's a, I know this is a fun part of the show. Let's see. Hockey Hall of Fame, 1999. I don't know, how do you read the stats on hockey? Let's do that hockey. I feel like that one SNL, remember that SNL episode where they have, what is his name? Donald Glover. He works for Yes Network, and he has no hockey. He doesn't know anything about hockey. And then he's like, "Oh, you're gonna interview the hockey players," and he's like, "Yeah, how do you feel about that hockey that you did out there?" Okay, and it's like, "Oh, how do you pronounce your name?" There is a Z and a Y. Never mind. So I thought that was always funny. Oh yeah, Wayne Gretzky. I don't know how many goals and points he has, but he was a head coach. You would think he would do better as a head. That's crazy. I've always known that. It's like the greatest players don't make the greatest managers. Let's see. Oh, okay, I got it. He's played 1,487 games. He's got 894 goals. Okay, so if Wayne Gretzky played another game, he would have had 900. And then assists, 1,900 and 2,800 points. Wow. That is the great one, Wayne Gretzky. But we want to talk about Ovechkin. He's been on the Capitals all his life, got a Stanley Cup. Sorry, I'm trying to... my producer doesn't tell me that we're going to talk about these things. Like I said, I wasn't prepared. Alexander Ovechkin, drafted first overall in 2004. Won the Stanley Cup a few years ago. I would still take Sidney Crosby over him. I'll be honest. I would. But, shout out to Ovechkin. Hockey is, like we say every week, it's still going on. It's just started. It's still fresh in everybody's mind. Not too much hockey news to talk about. But, and like basketball, not too much basketball. We can talk about basketball. I love talking about basketball. We can get the standings right now. We kind of always do the standings. I think Thursday we're going to... Bulls still 6-1. Wow. Let me know what you think about the Bulls. Because they were... healthy... we always wanted to talk about Derrick Rose and if he was healthy. But hey, I do want to shout out to the last place Mavericks. 2-6. They got the same record almost as the Raiders. Hey man, you don't... You choose a team and you stick with them. And that is the team I chose, and that is the team I will stick with. Nothing too crazy in the NBA, nothing too crazy in hockey right now. Tony Parker starts coaching in France. Go for Tony Parker. I don't really, whatever. It's just warming up. But speaking about stuff that's going to end, that has ended, MLB has ended. The Lakers are not the Lakers. The Dodgers are the World Series champions. And there's a lot of movement already. Hey, baseball, you just ended. Relax. Enjoy yourself a little bit. Rockies, I want to talk about the Rockies, because I hired Paul DeBodesta. And if you know him, he is that guy that Jonah Hill portrayed in Moneyball. So that's the only reason I'm talking about him. Because Jonah Hill was the one who portrayed him. So the Rockies hired Paul, the podcaster, a high-profile executive known for the Moneyball era, to lead their baseball operations. So hey, Rockies, you had a horrible, horrible season. I think you finished worse than the White Sox did. I think you might have had the worst record in baseball. Let me check that real quick. Rockies, you were 43 and 119. Yeah, no team in the NL comes close. And no team, even the White Sox, who went 60 and 102. So hopefully this changes around. Rockies are also a historical franchise that have been bad. I think they made the World Series once or twice. So, hey, new start for you. Next season, everybody starts off perfect record. So, we got a long way to go until baseball season. But there is a person I want to talk about. Excuse me if I pronounce this wrong. Muntaka Murakami. He is a 25-year-old from the Tokyo Yukon Swallows. And he is talking to MLB clubs. Boston Red Sox, Mets, Yankees, Dodgers. So, hey, we just saw somebody from the Japanese League win the World Series MVP. I'm pretty sure he was in the Japanese League. So, let's see. Not much to talk about. Baseball just ended. Oh, well, we can talk about Major League Soccer had the playoffs. We talked about that. We can check in on the playoffs. I don't know how that works, but let's see. I don't know. Best of 3. Okay, so it looks like the Philadelphia Union is the only team to advance. Nobody cares about this. in the Eastern Conference, and it looks like Los Angeles FC and the Vancouver Whitecaps advance in the Western Conference. So, hey, when it gets to the MLS Cup, we'll talk about it. We'll have a poll. Don't forget, Chad LGBT, his pics on Instagram and Twitter. Follow me, Brat said that X. And Penny's poll this week is the UFC fights rigged? Because there was a lot of talk about the UFC fights. I don't think they're rigged. We could talk more about that next show, but I do want to talk about, let me take a sip of drink real quick. I do want to talk about something I'm very, very angry about. This is non-sports related. This is non-politics related. I got the memo, just like everybody else did yesterday. Grand Theft Auto 6 is postponed once again. It was supposed to come out with May 2026. I was excited. I love Grand Theft Auto. I love the whole series. 3, Vice City, San Andreas, 4, 5. I was ready. May. Already took it off on work. Told the girlfriend, hey, I'm going to be away for a few days playing Grand Theft Auto. But now I got to wait till November 19th, 2026. Oh my God. Stop delaying the game. Okay? It's at the point where I don't even care anymore. It's heartbreaking. It really is. I love Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, CJ, Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, Tommy Vercetti. I don't think I ever beat 4, though. I beat San Andreas, I beat Vice City, I beat 5 like 6 different times. Always chose the mission where everybody survives. I never killed Michael and I never killed Trevor. So as Michael, Trevor, Franklin, it was always the option I chose. I played GTA 5 on Xbox 360, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. So, yeah, man, GTA 6. If you're not gonna have the release date, stop announcing it. Just stop announcing it. I want to just play GTA 6. I don't play video games much often. I don't. Hold on. There's only a few titles a year that I love Far Cry, Watch Dogs, and periodically sports like MLB The Show, NBA 2K. Those are really the only games I really pay attention to. And of course, Grand Theft Auto. We all grew up Grand Theft Auto 3. But Rockstar, shame on you. If I could give you the Bratwurst Award of the week, I would. But is the juice worth the squeeze? We gotta wait. My goal is to just make sure that this is it. November 19th is more than a year away. Alright. I guess they want everybody to buy it for Christmas, but yeah. Very, very frustrating, guys. But we're not going to end on a frustrating note. Hey, man, we will be back on, I want to say Tuesday. I don't know yet. Oh, not Tuesday. What's today? Today's the 7th. Maybe Monday or Tuesday. I kind of like having it Tuesday because we kind of like recap the weekend on Tuesday, and Friday we talk about the weekend. So there it is, guys. We talked a lot about it. John Cena, Survivor Series, UFC, WWE, AEW, NWA, MLB. I know we talked about last week the MLB Hall of Fame are going to be announced today. The contemporary. But we are going to get off now, so I won't know who's going to be nominated or selected. But we'll find out soon. But yeah, man, that is it. Thank you all. This is episode number 12. Christmas is coming up, so I'm going to put a little bit out there to get more equipment. And like I said at the top of the show, love each other. Don't argue. Don't fight. Politics is a subject that can tear people, friendships, acquaintances apart. Just love each other. They don't care about us. care about each other. You know, love thy neighbor, like the big man upstairs said. But yeah, follow me on Brat Said That X on Twitter, Instagram Brat Jackson, the O in Jackson the 0, and on YouTube Brat Jackson. Just subscribe, guys. I got 8 subscribers. I don't get many views on my... You know, this is just the start. This is just a start. I know I can get better audio. I know I mumble sometimes. I know my New York accent comes out. So, you know, it's a work in progress. I'm loving these shows. I'm love talking to you. It's actually really helping me with my stand-up, too, because I can, you know, exercise my vocal cords. But other than that, go on Twitter. I'm very active on Twitter. I think we're up to like 275 followers. So not bad. We've been doing this for a month. But yeah, I don't have like a send-off yet. So love each other, love sports, and especially love yourself. Good night, guys.